Imagine some 300 law enforcement agencies taking over MacArthur Park, but their focus was actually on 6 or so businesses across the street. I want to step out of the way, just give you a vantage point of what we saw this afternoon. Those agents taking over and really cutting off all of this area as DEA, federal and local law enforcement really honed in on where you see Bonita Mall, 6 businesses surrounding that area. We also have some video we want to show you of the arrests that were made. Of the 18 people taken into custody, a couple that federal agents say really was the ringleader of supplying methamphetamine here to the park was some of their targets, and they were taken into custody. Today, you can see the woman there being arrested. We also have some photos that we want to show you of what DEA agents saw once they were actually able to get into those businesses. At one point, we saw them actually sawing their way through some of those garages that had the Bonita Mall blocked. At one point, those drugs attempting to be flushed down the toilet. We know this operation was targeting, again, those businesses across the street, but if you know the area, you know the struggle that they have had in recent years to keep the homeless population under control, and then a lot of that illicit drug activity that has really taken over. We saw agents taking big brown boxes of what appears to be evidence into custody, as you can hear them making themselves known throughout the area. Those boxes, we believe, had some of the drugs that they say were recovered from these open air markets, they called them. Some 16 kilograms. That's enough to kill thousands of people, they say, of fentanyl. The drug operation actually started last night. This morning and today was 2 and phase 3 of these operations. The one this morning was in South LA. It was also connected to dealers that are directly bringing their drugs here to MacArthur Park, who were also arrested. We had Dr. Oz, CMS administrator, also on the scene here. But I was also speaking to these businesses, and I wanted to know, of course, as they struggle to keep their doors open, I asked First Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley what his message was to the people who live and work in the area not associated with this drug activity.
First, I apologize to the business owners because this is long overdue. It is hard enough to do business in the state of California. It's even harder to do it when you've got open air drug use right in front of your business. I mean, God bless, you got a deli down the street, and he's refused to shut down. He's not shutting down. And I was here with the undercover teams a few weeks ago, and there was a line out the door. So those are American businesses. They don't want to give up on this city. We're not giving up on this city.
Of course, Langer's an iconic deli here in town, telling me that this operation was a success in his eyes because it's bringing attention to what he calls a longstanding issue. Now, we want to be transparent with our viewers. There were members of the media that were allowed behind police tape with the DEA. CBS LA was not asked to be a part of that operation. I reached out and spoke to a DEA official, a spokesperson today, who could not tell me why we were not included in the media that was allowed to be behind the lines. But of course, we're still working to figure that out. 18 arrests, 300 law enforcement agents, all of which federal and local officials here today are calling this operation a success. Reporting live tonight from MacArthur Park, Hunter Sowards, CBS LA.
Hunter, thank you. Right now, one lane is still shut down on the 110 freeway after flames ripped through a tunnel underneath it, a tunnel believed to be a homeless encampment. CBS LA's Lucelia Caballero is live in San Pedro with reaction from frustrated drivers who say they're not surprised by the fire. Lucelia?
Not only do they say they're not surprised, but their biggest concern is this happened this week, what will next week bring? And one of their biggest fears is that pretty soon this freeway will be shut down yet again for a very similar reason. The more than 36-hour shutdown of the 110 North caused a lot of frustration for people like Anthony Sabawa, who lives in San Pedro. He wants more done to address the homeless crisis.
These homeless encampments, they pop up because they've been shut down in another area, and people have to have a place to sleep.
And it appears this tunnel may have been one of those places.
It was full of debris.
Captain Jacob Robbie with the Los Angeles Fire Department says the tunnel stretches about 150 feet into an area officials say appears to be private property. And getting inside was complex. In fact, as of 11 o'clock Tuesday morning,
They made it about 20 feet or so now. We have at least another 100 feet to go all the way in there.
LAFD eventually sent in a robotic dog and drone inside the tunnel before Caltrans engineers could go in and assess the damage.
When concrete is exposed to fire, there's a significant risk of it being a structural compromise.
The fire broke out just before 9 p.m. Monday inside a utility tunnel said to be the site of a homeless encampment near John S. Gibson Boulevard. Firefighters later drowned the flames with water and foam, drained all of that out, and worked to improve air quality inside.
We can't send our people in there a great distance because it goes down, the oxygen level drops significantly when we go about 15 feet or more in the tunnel.
Los Angeles Fire Department officials say they've had 7 calls to this spot since April 22nd and found fires 3 times, something that doesn't come as a surprise to nearby residents.
Until we do something meaningful, important, impactful, it's going to be the same. Caltrans
says this is an issue it's been dealing with, most recently reporting it's removed nearly 2,000 encampments and more than 19,000 cubic yards of debris in LA County, more than 1,600 encampments and nearly 15,000 cubic yards of debris within the city of LA between 2024 and 2025.
There's a lot that can be done, and unfortunately, there's a lot of political red tape here in Los Angeles.
And as we come back out here live, you can see that traffic is flowing seemingly business as usual, but of course there is the rightmost lane that is still blocked off as Caltrans emergency crews work to continue to assess the area. Of course, just after about 1 o'clock, they deemed that it was structurally sound. The freeway was okay to be driven on, and so they reopened most lanes, but right now it's closed because Caltrans emergency crews are still on the freeway. Reporting live in San Pedro, Lustelia Caballero, CBS LA.
They'll be there for a while. Lustelia, thank you. Just into our newsroom, a possible suicide note released in the Jeffrey Epstein case. A judge in New York released it this afternoon in response to a petition from the New York Times. The handwriting is a little difficult to read, but here it is. It appears to say, "They investigated me for months, found nothing," with 3 exclamation points. It also appears to read, "It is a treat to be able to say goodbye," and "No fun, not worth it." CBS News has not independently verified the note, but Epstein's former cellmate claims it was written in 2019 after a failed suicide attempt by Epstein. He later hanged himself in his jail cell before he could stand trial for sex trafficking minors.
Developing now, LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn calling on the district attorney to launch an investigation into Turner's Outdoorsman's gun store in Torrance, one of the biggest gun store chains in the state. Turner's is in the spotlight because investigators say that's where Cole Allen bought the shotgun he used when he stormed the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Hahn says data from the California Department of Justice links the guns sold at Turner's to a disproportionate number of weapons found at crime scenes. The DA's office responded saying in part it will, quote, actively participate in any investigation against a firearms dealer that violates any local, state, or federal law. The ATF has primary jurisdiction over federally licensed firearm dealers, and we will partner with any federal or state agency to ensure guns are being purchased properly based on California's strict gun laws. We have reached out to Turner's Outdoorsman gun store for a statement, but have not heard back.
New now at 5, the Justice Department says it has found evidence that UCLA's medical school discriminates against applicants by selecting them based on race instead of academic qualifications. The department says its year-long investigation found the school admitted Black and Hispanic applicants with consistently lower academic qualifications than white and Asian students. UCLA officials say the school's admissions process is, quote, based on merit and grounded in a rigorous, comprehensive review of each applicant, adding that they're reviewing the government's finding.
Yelling, nudity, alleged threats, and now an arrest. We first told you about this case this weekend in a Reseda neighborhood terrorized by a man despite hundreds of complaints. That man now arrested. CBS LA's Lauren Posen is live, and Lauren, neighbors are thankful but still worried?
It's a mix of emotions here. You know, neighbors say they're definitely relieved after all these years an arrest finally has been made, but they're also really concerned what happens if and when this man returns.
Oh my God, they're taking him.
Yes, thank you. He needs help.
After years of complaints, LAPD officers have arrested 44-year-old Gregory William. This is a man neighbors say has been terrorizing their quiet cul-de-sac with threats and disturbing behavior. From screaming outbursts like this.
All your daughters, all your nieces, lick it.
to exposing himself in an upstairs window and laughing obscenities in the middle of the night.
You're too dumb.
Police booked William Tuesday on felony criminal threats charges. As officers led him away, William cried out and pleaded for help.
I'm so wrong. God help me.
The home at the center of the chaos now sits empty. Neighbors told CBS LA they've called LAPD hundreds of times over the past 4 years. They say officers would respond, but the problems never stopped. A neighbor who asked us not to show his identity hopes it's different this time around.
Especially my wife. She feels like, okay, hopefully it's for a while. It's not like 1 or 2 days and come back and go back to the same thing again. What he's doing is not acceptable. It's not being a good neighbor.
No. I hope you guys can get him the help he needs, man. He really needs it.
William is being held at the Van Nuys jail on a $75,000 bond. So far, no court date has been set yet. Reporting live in Reseda, Lauren Posen, CBS LA.
Lauren, thank you. An update now to a child trafficking case in Crescenta Valley. A middle schooler taken, drugged, and forced to sort clothes to sell online. Tonight, the man accused has been arraigned.
And CBS LA assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk for us. And Mike, you worked this story nearly a year ago when the alleged crime happened.
Yeah, you know, Juan and Rita Bay, this was such a bizarre case to us. Originally, when it came out, it was a family that had been looking for their child who had gone missing, was gone for 72 hours, and then just kind of reappeared. Well, tonight, the DA's office says he was actually taken by a man, taken to a motel room, and forced to sort clothes while on Adderall to keep him working throughout the night. This is the man they accuse of doing it. They say the man met the child at a thrift store a couple of months prior to abducting him. Now, the man has been charged with trafficking as well as child stealing because there was no force involved in it, which would have made it a kidnapping case. But in this situation, the DA's office says over the course of 3 days, he brought him to a motel room, forced him to sort these clothes to be able to sell online, forced him to take Adderall to keep him working through the night to get the job done.